What's going on, guys? Alex here with TFL Car. I'm here in Miami Beach with the all-new Genesis GV80, the first Genesis SUV in their lineup. In this video, I'm going to give you a little walk around, talk about some of the features, what's unique with this car. Let's get right into it. I'm here in Miami, Florida with the brand new Genesis GV80, which is their first SUV in a lineup that has been all sedans up until this point. Of course, they have the G70, the G80, and their flagship G90 model. But like I said, this is their first SUV. They call it the GV80, and they're saying that that V stands for versatility. You now have the ability to load up all your cargo, all your family, and ride around in style and in comfort.
Well, that's basically the new SUV, the first SUV of the Genesis lineup, and it's the first ambassador of the new Genesis DNA.
So this car was first unveiled earlier this month and is available for sale in South Korea, and it will arrive later this year, this summer actually, in North America, so it is not that far away. Let's start out by talking about some of the exterior styling. It is a very sharp looking car in my opinion, and one of the things they really wanted to emphasize on was these two lines. So there are two lines up in the headlight as well as on this kind of side grille right here. You also have two lines over on the quarter panel, you can see right there, and again in the taillight. So that design kind of carries front to back through this whole vehicle. And that's what Genesis wants you to recognize their brand as. They want you to see the two lines in your rearview mirror and know that a Genesis is on your tail. You also have this massive grille up front that very closely resembles the grille of the G90. Pretty sharp looking. But it is not all identical to the sedan. There are definitely some unique styling cues on this GV80 that you don't get with some of their sedans.
The first thing is, I would say, we basically created the face of this car by morphing the logo into the front. So you notice that the center of the logo originated the crest grille, and the feathers originated the quad lamps. So it's basically the brand at the origin of the design. Then basically those feathers, those quad lights, which are only possible with the best lighting technology, originated what we call the two lines, which are the main element which we'll see in all the Genesis in the future. Independently of the typology or the architecture of the vehicle, you will always have the two lines, front, side and rear. On top of that, we have other design elements like the parabolic line, which tensions the side view of the car in a descending anti-wedge character. So those are the main elements you will find in all the Genesis vehicles in the future.
Let's talk about kind of the construction of it. It is a unibody design, rear-wheel drive platform, and you can option it with all-wheel drive. Sorry, my focus is going a little crazy there. You can option it with all-wheel drive. Here you can see the rear hatch. This model does have a third row. 5-passenger seating is standard. You can get that third row with 7-passenger seating optional. Power tailgate, of course, as you would expect from a luxury sedan. You can also see some controls back there for lowering the rear seats as well. I really like what they did with this rear end. You have this really sharp line right here on both sides, top and bottom. Kind of creates a very unique look on the tailgate area. Let's take a close look at the wheels up here. Standard are 20-inch wheels, but you can get 21 and 22-inch wheels as an option. These are the 22s, of course, and they have this very unique design on them that kind of matches the design of the interior. And as far as engines go, in North America at least, you can get this with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder or a 3.5 V6. The 5-liter V8 will not be available in this crossover, unfortunately. And those two engines that it is available with are not identical to the Hyundai versions of these engines. Although they are the same displacement, they are slightly modified for the Genesis vehicles. So let's take a look in the interior here. We'll actually give that a second. Alex on Autos is filming a little video out there. So what does this compete with? Well, it's a luxury SUV, so the BMW X5 comes in mind, the Mercedes-Benz GLE, the Lincoln Aviator. Those are all vehicles that are definitely going to compete with this GV80. And overall, I really like the design of it. You can see, here's a G90 right here, and you can kind of see the similarity in the grille between those two models. Right there.
Oh, we need the car. We need the car. Let's come forward. Sorry.
Alex is testing out that third row. And you can see this really interesting D-pillar design. Now let's hop in the interior, check things out. Very high quality materials. You can see the seats, nice quilted leather. Let's hop in for a sec. You have a very unique two-spoke steering wheel with kind of this two-tone leather, and that two-tone leather is carried throughout the interior. It looks really good. Full digital cluster, and it kind of uses that same Hyundai tech where if you flip the left or right turn signal, it will actually show you the left or right mirror camera view to help with your blind spot. There's also tons of driving safety tech, including lane change assist, collision alert, and driver attention warning. There is just a ton of technology in this car. Now, they also did ditch the standard kind of lever transmission and went to a rotary dial, which seems to be the new trend in vehicles. And then you also have this little touchpad right here, which can actually recognize handwriting. You have this little jog wheel on the outside, and then you can kind of spell out your destination using this touch control in the middle here. You also have a huge touchscreen up front, so you can directly interact with the display, or you can use that little controller down in the center console area, but I think it would be much easier just to touch with the touchscreen up there. You also have a drive mode selector with a couple other camera options, parking sensors, things like that down below. Something really unique is the driver's seat actually uses kind of an airbag system. It's supposed to help reduce fatigue while you're driving, and it basically kind of levels you out while you're driving to make it more comfortable and simpler to sit in the seat. You don't feel as many vibrations, or at least that's the idea. And hopefully we'll be able to test that out here at TFL in the near future. Seems like really interesting tech. Something kind of unique is the tachometer actually reads counterclockwise. So it starts kind of in that lower bottom right position and moves upward from there. Kind of interesting. I don't know why they did that, but it's just kind of a unique thing to point out. Overall, I really like the interior. It's super luxurious. The leathers are really soft. There's wood everywhere, nice materials everywhere, and honestly, it just feels like a super luxurious place to sit in. I really like what they did with this interior. There's stitching all over the dash. It definitely feels like a high quality luxury SUV, and that's the space Genesis is trying to play in with this GV80. So obviously, that's what we want to see here. There's kind of a side profile look of the GV80, and I'll move back to the back side of it so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like from behind. Overall, it's a very sleek looking car.
We really worked hard to get the right proportions with the long dash two axle, the short overhang, giving the long bonnet, and the cabin, which is sitting quite rearwards on the vehicle. Those are for me the most important features of the car, because all the rest, the styling is easy, but you have to get first the proportions right.
The GV80 will be available this summer in North America. Pricing has not been announced yet, but the G80 sedan starts at around $46,000, so we can guess that this GV80 will start at least $50,000, but that's just a guess. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to go back to tflcar.com for more news, views, and real-world Genesis GV80 reviews.